to be here. I'm Trinity Echevaria, Youth Spotlight, and today I have with me Fabulous, who I will be
What's up?
interviewing. Hello. All right, so I have a few questions for you. All right, so let's start off. How
Okay.
did you choose music as a career?
Um, at first, music was just like a hobby for me. So it was something that I was, just loved. I just loved hip hop. I grew up just liking the music, and I think it just gradually, my love for it just kind of gradually turned into me trying to do it. And when I look back at it today, I'm thankful for it because it's like something that you love doing, and then you eventually um, put that passion that you loved before you were doing it for money or professionally. You put that same passion into it from before was your career, and now it's my career. So it's like um, it was something that I didn't really like choose until it was there for me to choose it. It was something that I just kind of was passionately loved, and it came like in my lap where, all right, you getting you're getting good at this, you know what I'm saying, and maybe you
Yeah.
should start taking it serious. And some friends around me too kind of gave me that nudge, gave me that nudge in the back, like, you know what I'm saying, yo, you kind of good, you know what I'm saying, you should try it. So for me, it was just a hobby at first, and then it became a choice after I got better at it. My passion for it grew.
Wow, that's awesome. And so well, you kind of answered this question already with your friends, but who inspires you or inspired you? Is there any activists or social justice leaders that inspire you?
um I guess on the musical side, I guess my friends, of course, push me in the back, like I said. But inspiration wise, I get inspired by a lot of different things and a lot of different um, people, whether it's social activists or just the people, everyday people you come in contact with. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't even know that they're inspiring, or their story or their hardships or whatever they're going through is inspirational for somebody else, no matter
Definitely.
in what position they're in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes me seeing um, people going through different things, it inspires me to take advantage of the position and the platform that I have too. You know what I'm saying? So, social activist wise, pretty much, man, everybody, because they're doing something rather than nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I never look at people what more they can do. I just look at what they are doing. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people, they judge or see other sides of their lives and what they're doing and try to um, pass judgment on what they could do for other people. And you can't. You have to acknowledge that somebody is doing something rather than nothing, and
Right.
that's what inspires me.
Yeah. Every step is towards progression. So, have you ever personally felt discriminated against?
Yeah, for sure. Discrimination sometimes comes in all different ways, not only just by race, but sometimes by age, by class, by um, it's just you can experience it in so many different ways. So I remember going to school, I felt uh, a certain way that I was being discriminated against because I was in such a mixed barrel of ethnicity in the school that you were kind of like you had to prove yourself because you were black in that school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times, sometimes you know if you were in a different environment, you wouldn't have to feel that pressure of proving yourself amongst other people. You know what I'm saying? And I've felt discrimination before. I never let it like stop me though. I kind of used it sometimes as fuel or motivation, really. You know what I'm saying? I never was the person that um let discrimination break me, so to say. But I know all respect to, because everybody handles things different ways. But for me, discrimination kind of made me want to go harder. You know what I'm saying? It kind of made me want to prove myself a little bit more. It kind of made me want to uh, use myself as representation, for everybody that's like me or come from where I come from, or people who get looked at as me. So definitely, it's just to answer the question as a whole, I felt discrimination on different levels and different parts of my life. And, like I said, it's not just race, but sometimes in all different areas
Yeah,
of life.
definitely. Very true. Thank you for that. And what is the best advice that you've been given?
The best advice that I can give
Or
on,
what's the best advice that you've been given? Any point in your
oh,
career, as
given.
a growing up?
Um, Funny is somebody told me like, uh, uh, well, I've taken many pieces of advice, but one that really sticks to me and is always funny is um, kind of like, don't take any advice. My advice would be, don't take advice, because you have your own experiences sometimes, and I guess other people's advice comes from their experiences. You know what I'm saying? And I think um, you have to take that in consideration even when you take advice. You know what I'm saying? It's like taking it but not taking it at the same time. Um, and I think why that's worked so well with me, because somebody's advice can be discriminating, or kind of shoot your dreams down a little bit. Um, and sometimes advice is not like that. Sometimes advice is just, giving you some foresight and giving you some know-how too. But sometimes people's advice is just based on their experience. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And you have to live off your own experiences sometimes, and I guess take their advice as something that you can keep in the back of your head to know.
Right. Very true. And what is the creative process like?
For me, my creative process is different at different times, especially from you know being in the game of making music for so long. It's changed in different ways and different times and different inspirations and different motivations. And but for me, it's always comes from like a pure place of something that I feel like I want to express. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think it's most truest to me, because it's coming from something that I want to express, and be creative with that of how I express it. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody has um, a sense of expression, but what makes it unique to you is how you express it. You know what I'm saying? How some I've heard somebody say like all rappers are saying the same thing pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, you telling your story the way you want to tell it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people who relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Some people are
Right.
gonna relate, some people are not, and some people are gonna listen to it and get it and understand it, and some people are not. So I think it's like to each his own. Everybody has to speak their truth, their story, how they speak it in their language. You know what I mean? Sometimes accents, all kind of things connect to people in different ways. So my creative process is just that, just coming from what I want to say, how I want to express it, and my truth, pretty much.
Absolutely. So lastly, what's next for you?
What's next for me is so many things, man. I don't like to spoil things before before it comes to life, but I want to work on so many different things, and so many things that I've been developing, especially during 2020, because we had a lot of time to sit back and really focus on different things. You know what I mean? And one of mine for 2020 was family, of course, and just focusing on that and trying to do different things within my family. I'm involved in a lot of things that I was doing as well, because pretty much throughout the beginning of my career, it was pretty much just all Fab and what Fab is doing. You know what I'm saying? So um, for the next chapter, I definitely wanted to, you know, tap in with that. I won't share all of the things that's going on with
Of
that, because
course.
there's a lot of them are still in development. But
Right.
I will say a lot of it is family based and, you know, coming in the near future.
Great. So now that I've asked my questions, we're going to look to the audience, and you guys can drop a few questions that you might have for him.
Okay. Okay. So, should I go from just the top one that's in the stage?
See any? Okay. Someone says, how do you use your experiences to relate to others?
Well, I kind of speak on my experiences and see how they relate to me a little bit. I do speak on, I guess, situations that I see go on in front of me, or you know, somebody speak of them, and if they relate to me, I speak on that. But I try to more put, you know, things that I'm experiencing out there and see, you know, who relates to that. Um, and I think, you know, even relation changes over time too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like how they say, like, I guess people is not, you know, the same person or something, because how you're living and your environment could change your relation as well.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
um, so that's what I pay attention to too. Is, you know, what's going on around me. I pay attention to what's going on in the world, and just try to see in what ways that I relate to that and it relates to me.
Yeah, and this kind of actually goes into a question from Matthew. He says, how can artists play a role in social justice?
Um, I think we are our voices are so big and our platforms have become big, and I think in social justice we have to um, use our platform, use our voices, um, because people are listening and they're inspiring and they're, um, you know, in most parts they're motivational. And sometimes even if you don't, if you, you know, every artist weirdly is not really a speaker, even though like we perform and we speak. Everybody is not, you know, a speech maker. So even if you can't be that, you can still um, show awareness. You can spread awareness. You can be there. You can be on the front. Like some people are going to be front line. Some people are going to march. Some
Yeah,
people are going to share information. Some people are going to um, discuss uh, ways to make things happen. Some people are going to raise money. Some people are going to, you know, it's just different
of
ways
course.
to um, to fight social injustice too. You know what I'm saying? And I think the many different ways is the way to attack it. If everybody was just doing one thing, um, you know what I'm saying, I think a lot of avenues to attack social injustice would be left open, and everybody would just be going in one direction. I think it needs to be um, different people doing different things, and I think that's where you get the best outcome.
Right. And like you said before, there's a number of different ways to add to progression, not just one. There's
Right.
different ways, and everybody can contribute something. All right. So there's, we'll take one last question um, from one of our youths.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to filter out.
Yeah, you could take a couple if you want.
Um,
I know there's so many questions coming through to just say one. So
yeah,
whatever we could get to.
yeah, that's what I'm having trouble with. I'm like trying to filter through so many different questions. Okay.
Hmm.
I guess we'll take a question from Amber Caffrey. She says, what is your greatest motivation for what you write about. So I guess she's saying, like, what motivates you the most to keep writing?
The most, it's a couple things. One on the creative side and one on the uh, of it. One is just living, seeing, enjoying, dealing with everything that comes. Another, the talent that makes sense, making it a rap, making it rhyme, um, like the artist, musician side, and then on the other side is more just taking what your growth and things you're experiencing and putting that into, a rap. Patience right there with things you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I think say like why they talk whatever why are they talking about the things that they're talking about, and it's because of their experiences. It's because what they going through, what they're listening to, what they're digesting, what they're the people they're around. You know what I'm saying? And they're the base of pretty much, and sometimes what they think people relate to or their audience relates to. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think your audience is in one direction or in the club, or you probably make club music a lot because that's the people that you're catering to. You know what I'm saying? So I think both sides. One is the challenge the of being a creative and making words and metaphors and taking my everyday things and making it like not just said like, hey, I just walked to the store today. I gotta say that in a certain way that sounds cool or sounds creative. And the other is just dealing. It's just life. It's just putting your life into words and your experiences into words and coming across and what people said to you and what people have done with you or for you or to you. You know what I'm saying? Into words. I can't hear you, Trinity.
Sorry, everybody. Um, but I think we lost your picture a little bit. You're back now, but we heard everything you said. And just want to thank you so much for bringing your light to the youth for this youth presentation. Thank you so much for your wise words. We appreciate it so much. And thank you for having me here to also contribute. All right.
Thank y'all. Really appreciate it. Uh, Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody. Thank y'all for having me. Of course, I hope what I've said has hope it motivates, inspires people to do what they like to do and be find your passion, find what you love, and chase it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I just want to say this was awesome experience. I really love your music. So I was a little
Thank
bit
you.
nervous, but
Nah,
you're so down to earth and you were a great person to interview. So thank you so much.